1. Nella, February 3rd, 1791. She would come at daybreak, the woman whose letter I held in my hands, the woman whose name I did not yet know. I knew neither her age nor where she lived. I did not know her rank in society, nor the dark things of which she dreamed when night fell. She could be a victim or a transgressor, a new wife or a vengeful widow, a nursemaid or a courtesan. But despite all that I did not know, I understood this. The woman knew exactly who she wanted dead. I lifted the blush-coloured paper, illuminated by the dying flame of a single rushwick candle. I ran my fingers over the ink of her words, imagining what despair brought the woman to seek out someone like me, not just an apothecary, but a murderer, a master of disguise. Her request was simple and straightforward. For my mistress's husband, with his breakfast, daybreak, 4th of February. At once, I drew to mind a middle-aged housemaid, called to do the bidding of her mistress, and with an instinct perfected over the last 2 decades, I knew immediately the remedy most suited to this request: a chicken egg laced with nux vomica. The preparation would take mere minutes. The poison was within reach. But for a reason yet unknown to me, something about the letter left me unsettled. It was not the subtle, woodsy odour of the parchment, or the way the lower left corner curled forward slightly, as though once damp with tears. Instead, the disquiet brewed inside of me, an intuitive understanding that something must be avoided. But what unwritten warning could reside on a single sheet of parchment, shrouded beneath pen strokes? None at all, I assured myself. This letter was no omen. My troubling thoughts were merely the result of my fatigue. The hour was late, and the persistent discomfort in my joints. I drew my attention to my calfskin register on the table in front of me. My precious register was a record of life and death, an inventory of the many women who sought potions from here, the darkest of apothecary shops. In the front pages of my register, the ink was soft, written with a lighter hand, void of grief and resistance. These faded, worn entries belonged to my mother. This apothecary shop for women's maladies, situated at 3 Back Alley, was hers long before it was mine. On occasion I read her entries. 23rd of March, 1767. Mrs. R. Ranford, Yarrow Milfoil, 15 drams, 3 times. And the words evoked memories of her. The way her hair fell against the back of her neck as she ground the yarrow stem with a pestle, or the taut, papery skin of her hand as she plucked seeds from the flower's head. But my mother had not disguised her shop behind a false wall, and she had not slipped her remedies into vessels of dark red wine. She'd had no need to hide. The tinctures she dispensed were meant only for good, soothing the raw, tender parts of a new mother or bringing menses upon a barren wife. Thus, she filled her register pages with the most benign of herbal remedies. They would raise no suspicion. On my register pages, I wrote things such as nettle and hyssop and amaranth, yes, but also remedies more sinister: nightshade and hellebore and arsenic. Beneath the ink strokes of my register hid betrayal, anguish, and dark secrets.